Okay, guys, good evening. Welcome back. We will continue with our Docker session. So we will be continuing with the Docker-Day-3 session. And I would even still go with writing time, date and time. It is good for us because we will know we can track the video with these dates also, right? And the evening 9:58 p.m. IST. So thank you, guys. I mean, why I'm thanking you because we just now sat for the day two and we just took a break of 20 minutes, but still with your interest and with everyone's support, right, we are able to do the next session also. So what I will do, I'll not elongate much. I'll just try to take 1 hour session and I'll try to complete whatever I'm supposed to complete today. Okay, and maybe after the class completes, just sit for another 4 or 5 minutes. We will discuss about what would be our action plan for the continuing this Docker. And Docker is a big topic. It's same thing like whichever tool you read it, go through it, guys. Any tool it could be Jenkins or it could be Kubernetes, not Kubernetes exactly. It could be Ansible, anything. You will see that each and every tool is a very big topic. I mean, very big tool to learn itself. Same thing like that. Docker is not small. Docker is something, it's not like Git where you can finish the whole Git in 15 sessions. No, Docker is something it will take more than 15, 20, 25 sessions it will take. So we need to have our plan now, like how we are going to complete this successfully with all the things, whatever we want to learn, right? Everything we will be able to learn. That's what we will plan it. I'll take 5 to 10 minutes of then, and then like we can wind up our session. Okay, fine. Now, so guys, now just we try to understand about the third generation, right? This is what our third generation where we came across with something like a Docker. And Docker, as we know that it is a contagion technology, right? It's a contagion technology. And what Docker thought that actually that whenever we want to run any application, we want to make that isolated area or that container as a isolated area where it has to be very thin container. It means that only which is most used or which is required to run the application, only that thing should be there in the container inside that. Rest all other things, unwanted thing, you can remove it off or we will remove it. That's what happened, right? They want to make it as a very thin, lightweight container. And they were very success in that actually. And Docker was very successful. How Docker, like came up, they came up so much well in the market because of this concept that they want to make it as a very lightweight and a very thin lightweight, right? That's how they evolved in the market, and that's how they came in a very big way in this industry actually, right? Right now, so we try to learn about this three generation 1, generation 2, and generation 3. Fine, good. Now, suppose you say that, Rajesh, I want to check or I want to see how exactly this applications runs in all these three generations. Suppose I have an application. Assume that I have some Java-based application. Some Java application I have. I want to see that Java application. I want to see that how this application or how this application will run in all the three generations. I want to just get a feel out of it actually. I can take any application, guys. Okay, any Java or any .NET or any Python, any application you can take it, you can run. But right now in my system, in my laptop, right, I have Java installed in my system. Java is installed. I think Java 21 is installed. Let me check. So if I try to open the terminal, this is my PowerShell terminal. If I just say Java version, can you see here Java 21 is installed in my system. So already I have installed. Okay, how to install and all, it is pretty simple. If you try to go and watch my Jenkins videos, I'm saying from the day 7 or day 8 onwards, I have explained everything about how to install Java in Windows and all such things I've explained in a very detailed manner. You can go through it. But right now, what we are concentrating more on that, how we can run an application in our server. Okay, so what we'll do that, we will try to see that how running an application in all these three generations. That is what we will discuss, and this will be quite interesting us to understand, because after we run an application, all these three generation 2, at the end we can derive it actually to the conclusion that which is better actually, whether whatever the applications were running earlier 10, 25 years back in our physical server, and today in 2024 or 2025, The application, same application is running under the container. What kind of a big shift has happened between that time to now? And what is an advantage you are going to get when you are making an application to run under the container technology? Or what are the disadvantages you are going to face it or you see it? All such things we are going to discuss in today's session. Right? So this would be a little bit quite interesting session for all of us to understand. Right? Okay, good. Now assume that, see guys, assume that this is my laptop. This is my laptop, and my laptop, it's a Lenovo laptop which I'm running now, and it is a if I see the configuration, it's a very small configuration, which is just a 16 GB of RAM memory with 500 GB of hard drive, and like with uh, 2.4 gigahertz of processor speed. That is a very small configuration which I have with the laptop. Consider that this laptop itself as a physical server. I'm just saying, consider it. Okay. So now, so we know that, okay, let me make use of some diagrams. What is it actually? Yeah, I'll just say laptop icon. Laptop keypad. Yeah. So this is my laptop, or else I'll take some other laptop. So this is my laptop actually. And this laptop is consider this to be a physical server. I'm just saying physical server, right? This is my laptop, but it's a physical server now. Now we know that whenever we go and we try to buy a physical server, we have to go and install the operating system. Like for example, assume that in our case, my operating system is Windows 10. So Windows 10 is installed in my machine, right? After that, on top of this Windows machine, you have to go and install some software stack. Say for example, you are installing Java. So in our case, I have installed the Java 21 version actually, right? And on top of this, I need to run some application, which is a Java based application. So I'll try to run this application. Right? So this is what I have to do it now. Now, so what you're going to do now, I think if I have an application, let me go to the downloads folder. I think I have some application, man. Some applications there with me. Yeah, there's an application by name Spring Pet Clinic. If you remember, I had took about what is the Spring Pet Clinic all about, because the Spring Pet Clinic is a Java based application, no doubt. And the Spring Pet Clinics also uses many of the Spring framework, Spring Boot framework also it uses actually. That's what we take the Spring Pet Clinic and we compile it and we'll create a jar or a var or ER file. If you remember in the Jenkins class, those guys who have attended Jenkins guys, the Jenkins class actually, I used to go like this: GitHub, Spring Pet Clinic. Do you remember, guys? Do you still remember? Like, I think we took the Jenkins in the month of October, right? Last year, 4 or 5 months back. See? So what I do that, I used to clone this application, Spring Pet Clinic, and then like I used to go and compile it with the help of a Maven or with the help of a Gradle. And once you compile it, you'll get this file actually, which is another Spring Pet Clinic, some version .jar file. So this is a single application which you have built, and the extension what you're given is a .jar. So it means that with the help of a Java runtime, you can run this application. So can we check it, how to run it? Yes, sir. Because it is there in the download, I'll do one thing. I'll go to the CD downloads and then say Java-jar and give the application name, Spring Pet Clinic. Am I clear on this, sir? Shall we run this application? Yes. See, it runs this application. I'll wait for some time and it'll make sure that it'll try to make the application run. Can you see here? It has made the application, started the Spring Pet Clinic in 7.326 seconds. Running the process is 789. Okay, it means that your application has started working. How do you access it? Suppose your application is running. Suppose locally I want to access it. So I will use some Chrome browser or some browser. I'll use it. So what I will do, I will go over here and I will try to open a browser and I'll just say HTTP something : localhost. See, localhost colon, because it's an application, it's a web application, it will be using the port number 8080. So localhost colon 8080 and say enter. Can you see here your Spring Pet Clinic is up and running, right? So this is how we are checking whether the application is running or not, or we are accessing the application in the browser with the help of a localhost. Same thing if you try to give to the client, which you have to give the access to the client, which you need to have a domain, you need to have some kind of a DNS server where your domain to the IP is everything is there, and your application should be up and running in some server where what happened that you will even have a load balancer or the web server. So many things at the back end you do so that you can give the same application to be accessed by the end user, right? By a domain name or by a URL, something like that. But since what happened, right, we are running this application locally in my laptop or in my server, I'm able to verify whether I'm able to access it or not with the help of a local host. Am I clear, sir? HTTP localhost colon 8080 we have to give. So it is opening. It means that my application is running actually. Right? Now let it run. No problem. Now the thing is that, guys, actually now when it is running, let us see what kind of a resource it is utilizing my application. So what I'll do a right click here. Here I'll go to the task manager. Now you could see, guys, if you go over here, see, you could see that in my system, you could see that actually what is a disk which is utilized, 1% of the disk is utilized, Wi-Fi, GPU and all is fine. You could see that memory is also out of 16 GB, 8.8 GB of memory is utilized, remaining is free. But with the 56% of my memory is still free, right? And in case of my processor, it's very less, it is 1.64 gigahertz, out of which only 7% is used. So it means that my lot of memory, a lot of CPU, and a lot of disk are all underutilized. It means that it is not completely utilized, right? Consider this to be a physical server where I'm running this application, right? With that, what I'm saying that this application is not completely utilized the entire hardware resource which is provided by my server. Okay, you will come over here. Okay, you will see anywhere the Java is running, it will show something Java application is running. What is it actually? Not here. Not here. Somewhere, sir, it has to show that Java process is running, right? Here you could see that it is utilizing. You could see the Java. It is using 299 MB memory. And what is the CPU? Almost literally 0%. It is not even using the CPU completely. Right? This is what the resource it is using. And what about the disk access and network and all? Almost zero. So whatever my application is running here in my terminal, it is consuming very, very less resources actually. Right? Because maybe you will say that, Rajesh, this is a very small application which are running. That's the reason. Yeah, fine. But anyhow, consider that this is your physical server as per diagram. And in our industry, in our company, in the real time, in the physical server, you'll always make sure that only one application is running. You will not allow any other application to run onto the same server, because that there might be a chance where the application they might consume a lot of resources of the hardware, and they can affect the other application. So to avoid all such things, usually what happens, the company will decide that, okay, we will not run any other extra application. The same application is going to run, only one or the same application is going to run in the same server throughout the life. Okay. But what happened that you have to compromise with all kind of a hardware under not being utilized, or hardware waste or hardware resource wastage, right? That you need to compromise somehow. Right. Now, the thing is that now I have purchased this laptop, or I have purchased this server, and I'm running this Spring Pet Clinic. And according to this statistic, we got to know that what exactly the resource is utilized. Okay. It means that it is consuming very less resource of memory, RAM, CPU, all such things. Do you think that, guys, today, if I purchase a laptop or the physical server, I will see, okay, this is what it is. And okay, I'll think that, okay, this is not the hardware which I need. I need lesser than what I have. Okay, and I have invested so much of money in this physical server. Do you think that you can take this physical server and give to the back to the shop and say that, yo, please give me lesser hardware, man, I don't need this much? Whether he is going to agree with you? No, right? Because as soon as you purchase the hardware, the next day or the same time, okay, the price will be half of it actually. It will not be the same price. Today you purchase for 1 lakh rupee the hardware. You go back to the shop tomorrow, you ask him to change something, everything. He will say, sir, it is half price. I can pay you 50,000 rupees only for that. So that kind of a like value will come down if you purchase any hardware actually. So that's how it becomes very, very important, extremely important for all of us, that whenever we are choosing any kind of hardware, we should make sure that what is the configuration we are choosing it, so that it should not be underutilized. It should always, my hardware should be maximum utilized throughout it, because whatever I'm investing it, I want to get the return on investment. If I don't get it, it's a loss for me, right? So that kind of a decision, anyhow, we all have to take it actually. Now the question comes, okay, fine. According to the diagram, Rajesh, you are running it. This application running. Which is that application? So I'll try to write the application name as something like a Spring Pet Clinic, SPC. I'll just say. Okay. So this application is running happily in this physical server or in this laptop. Now you will say that, okay, I want to run the same instance of the same application one more time. So it means that you will say that the same instance, I want to run it like this. One more, I want to run the same instance of the same application. So do you think that, guys, you can able to run on the same server, the same instance of the same application? Can I try? Yeah, we'll go. I'll open one more terminal and I'll go to the downloads where I have that file. I'll run again the same command, java-jar and say Spring Pet Clinic and say enter. Let's see what will happen, whether it'll run or not. See here, you cannot run it because it says that web server failed to start because 88 port was already in use. Application failed to start. So you cannot run the same instance of that application. You cannot have a two application, okay, run under the same server. It is not possible because what are the resource it requires, one application will try to acquire. If the other application also need the same resource, say for example here port number 880 should be open. Only one time the first application, the first instance has used it actually. When you try to run the same application for the second time, it will not run because this is the utilization. Say for example, if you're configured in such a way that, okay, the same application when you're running, let it utilize 880 port number, and again go to the code, do some changes so that when you want to run that application, it has to use the port number 8081. Yeah. Then you have to go do modification into the code and make sure that same application is running under the under the same server with help of a different port numbers. That you can do it. But usually that we don't do like that, right? We'll make sure that always the port number should be constant. It is not like that we will run same application in multiple different ports, because if you're doing like that way, you cannot form a cluster of the same application. It's not possible. So hence what happened, right? You cannot able to run the same application onto the same server. That is not possible. And this is a big disadvantage. Actually speaking, it's a big disadvantage. Now, what you will do, now you go back to the diagram. You said, Rajesh, I understood now. Okay, I cannot run the one more instance of the same application. Fine. Now, what you will do, okay, now physical server is something which we are using. Now, in the second generation, we came across with something known as a virtualization. Okay, let us see whether we can able to run under the virtualization. So, what you will do, you will you will go and you will try to create a virtual server, virtual machine. This is some kind of a virtual server, you will say. Here, you'll have a virtual server like this. I think I have to stop all these things. Okay. So virtual server. So you'll have a virtual server, right? Here, what you will do that, you will try to have the same set of these things. Sorry, you have the same thing. Like this, you'll have. Okay, here instead of Windows, I'll take it something, I'll take as a Linux actually, or Ubuntu Linux, anything. So what you will do, you will create some virtual server or virtual machine like this. And then like what happened, right? You will tend to choose an operating system. So in this case, you will choose a Ubuntu Linux operating system. And on top of Ubuntu Linux, what you will do, you will go and install the Java 21 because your application needs a Java 21. And after installing the Java 21, you will try to go and deploy the Spring Pet Clinic application. So, Rajesh, how you can create a virtual machine? Oh, I mean, you need a virtualization. Okay, fine. But what is the easiest way, man, to create a virtual machine? We know that, man, the easiest way of creating virtual machine is through cloud only, right? We have a GCP cloud, we have an AWS cloud, we have a Azure cloud. So many cloud vendors are there, right? AWS, Azure, GCP is there. So many are there. Digital cloud is there. Alibaba cloud is there. So many are there, man. Can't we go and create it? Yeah, man. You need to have an account. You need to have account on all these cloud providers, and you can go and launch a virtual machine. So this virtual machine, how we are getting? You are getting through all those hypervisor only. With the help of a hypervisor, you'll get a virtual machine. So with the help of a virtual machine, can we go and have all these things? Yes, sir, you can set up and you can run. So in the second generation, whatever we discussed earlier, right? This is a second generation where we have a machine, physical machine. On top of it, hypervisor is there. On top of it, you are able to create a virtual machine. The same concept, even cloud is also using. Any cloud provider, they're using the same thing. They have a physical server. On top of it, they have installed a layer, which is called a hypervisor layer. And on top of that, they have created n number of virtual machines. They will create it like that. Right. So what I'm trying to result, can I run the same Spring Pet Clinic application even into the virtual machine? Yes, you can run it. Okay. So what I will do, guys, I will try to go and I'll try to create a virtual machine. Okay, where I'll try to create, I can choose any cloud, either AWS or Azure or GCP. Let me choose Azure cloud. And with the help of an Azure, I will create a server, virtual machine, and then like I will try to go and run the same application. So shall we see that now? Yes. So what I'll do, I'll go here. I will go and I'll just say portal.azure.com. Some of you are attending the Azure class, they know about all these things. So azure.portal.com. And here we have a service known as a virtual machine service. There is a service by name virtual machines. So yeah, I've logged into it. So you could see that there's something like virtual machines. Yeah, click on it. Yeah, go and create it. Virtual machine. I can even create in AWS also, right? I will create a new resource group, something like a myRG. Okay, go here, try to create some virtual machine like VM1. I'm creating here under the Central India. Fine, come here. I'm choosing the Ubuntu server. Okay, this is okay. And for the Ubuntu server, I don't need just such big size. Instead, I will go with the one virtual CPU with 1 GB of, which is nothing but standard B1S. We have already discussed all these things, guys, in our Azure session, right? Come down here. I need to have a password, something like that. Okay, I'll give something like a Rajesh SI password. I will give. Okay. So because this is a Linux machine, I have to allow the port number 22, right? And then what I will do, I will go with the next. In disk, do I have to do anything here under this tab? Nothing, sir. I need not to do anything. Fine. Anything else is required? Okay, I'll go to the networking. Networking also, okay, it is chosen some virtual network with some subnet with some public IP. Okay, fine. Anything else is required? Let me go to the advanced and then let me check it out. Add an inbound rule. Let me check if it is 88 is there. Yeah, 8080 port is there. This is what I need actually. Okay, I'll go back here. Okay, I'll say, okay, I'll go back here and fine. All ports will be exposed to a public IP. Okay, fine. I'll go back here. Yeah, this is the basic actually. Yeah, that's all I think. Nothing else. Okay, I'll go to the next, nothing, everything. Finally go and create it. So I'm creating a virtual machine Ubuntu Linux, that is, and I'm given Rajesh SI as a username, and the password I've set something so that I will be able to log into this machine. So validation is passed. Then I'll go with creating the machine. So how much this will cost me, guys? This will cost me like 1 rupee, 1 rupee per hour actually. So let it go. Okay. So guys, I would request all of you who are there, please attend the Azure class also because I'm taking Azure networking, which is a very core components of any cloud technology. So I'm taking in a very in detail about all the networking things. So I would request you to attend that online. I mean, attend that session and try to learn everything. So the same thing we will try to even do for the AWS also. I'm just planning, but let's see. Okay. So your deployment is completed. I can go with the resource actually. Okay. So here you could see that it's not in a ready state. Let me go and refresh it. Troubleshoot this issue. Sometime I'm getting this issue, but anyhow, the machine will be up and running now. You could see that if I refresh this whole azure.portal.com, I could see that I got a public IP. Yeah, I got a public IP and you could see that's in a running state actually. So I'll just go and copy the public IP. Yes, copy the public IP, go over here. And what I will do, I'll try to open one more terminal and then I will just do something like SSH, what is it? Rajesh SI at the rate, give the IP address. I'll say yes. It asks me for the password. Let me give the password so that I'm able to log into my virtual machine. Right? See, I'm able to log into my virtual machine. Am I clear, sir? Right? So I'm able to log into the virtual machine and this is a user actually. So let me quickly do a sudo apt update. So the first command we always run it to update our package manager. Okay. Now what happened? You say that, okay, according to the diagram, okay, we understand that, okay, I have a machine now where I have Ubuntu Linux. Now what we need a Java actually, okay? Whether Java is there or not, let us check. So how do you check it? I'll just say Java-FL version. So let me check. Java is not there. So you have to go and install it. So how do you install it? Sudo apt install open jdk-21-jdk-y. So this is a command. We do it for installing the Java, right? Good. Now what happens? Somehow you need to copy the application which is there in my local machine. That is the Spring Pet Clinic. I have to copy into my machine actually. Okay, this is my Ubuntu machine. So how to do that? We will see now. Let it install. This will take some time basically. Whenever you're installing Java package or uh, like Tomcat server, you're trying to configure everything. It usually takes some time actually. And also, this is a very small server, right? With very less configuration, one virtual CPU with 1 GB of RAM memory. It's a very small configuration, right? That's the reason it will take time. Otherwise, if you're having some big servers with some good configuration, right, the things will be very faster. The installation and all will be very, very faster actually. Okay, let it get installed. Sorry guys, my kids came. That's what. Okay. So now, so Java is installed. How do you verify it? Java hyphen version. Just a hyphen version or just a hyphen version. So Java 21 is installed now. Right. So now what you do basically, I want to copy it actually. So how do you copy it? I can exit out and I am under the, I need to get into the download folders. Yeah. From here, I was doing this SSH. Instead of SSH, I use a SFTP. Okay. File transfer protocol. I'll just say add it. It'll ask me for the password. Let me give the password. Okay, I have logged into the SFTP prompt. Now in the SFTP prompt, what you have to do that, you have to just say put that Spring, what is it actually? 1 second. I'll go here. I will open property. I need to copy that file like this. I'll copy it, go over here and I'll paste it like this. So you're uploading from your local laptop into the server with the help of an SFTP. Am I clear, sir? So guys, do you have any doubts in this? I'm sure that many of you have used this FTP server at your workplace also, right? You know about what is a get and put or mget or mput and how to, what the FTP does and all. You are aware of all these things, right? So what I'm doing from my local machine, I'm trying to upload into the virtual machine actually, right? Into the machine. So with the SFTP, I logged in and then like I'm using with a simple put operation to do it actually, right? So once this is uploaded, so I'll just say, I'll exit out from the prompt. Now again, I will try to log in as an SSH only. I'll try to log into that machine and then like I will check that whether you have that you have copied or not. See, you could see that now I got this jar here actually. Am I clear? Now shall we run this application? Yes, sir. You can run this application. How do you run this application? Same Java hyphen jar command. You have to use it actually, right? So Java command hyphen jar and give the Spring Pet Clinic. Enter. See, you are running your application in your virtual box. So whatever we have thought about to run our application here, you are running in your virtual box machine. Earlier in your physical server, you are running, right? Which we consider our laptop itself as a physical server. Now I choose some virtual machine from some cloud account and then like I'm trying to run the same application. Am I clear, sir? Let us see whether the application has come up. Yeah, you could see that the Spring Pet Clinic has took a 19 seconds to come up. But you could see that what do we make out that Rajesh, when I try to run in my laptop, which is high configuration, it took, I think, some 12 seconds to make it up or something like that. It was lesser than that. But here, the same application in my Ubuntu, it is taking 19 seconds. Oh, okay. It means that it could be configuration issue. If my Ubuntu server would have been a no, little bit more higher configuration, this would have run very less. It would have took even like 7 seconds. It would have took to run that application. But anyhow, that's fine. The application is up and running. Now, what to access this application, which is running a virtual machine? What you're going to do? You'll go back to your Azure account. You know that this is a public IP. I'll copy the public IP. I'll come over here and I'll just do HTTP colon double slash, give the public IP and give the port number 8080 and say enter. Let's see whether the Spring Pet Clinic will try to load here. Why is taking this much time? I think the port number 88 is opened or not. We'll check that also. Right. Okay, it is not open. So let me go to the network settings. Okay, let me go to the network security group here. And you could see that 8080 port is not open. Let me go and add it actually. Let me go to the inbound security rules, go and add the rule. So what you'll do, port number 8080 here. Okay, it's already there. Source any, okay, destination any. Custom is something like, you can just say custom, and port number 8080, I'll just say go and add it actually. So you could see that now we are adding the port number 8080. Can you see? Allow any custom port number 8080. We're adding it actually. So yeah, it has created it actually. Now let's go and check it out whether we are able to access or not. Now you could see that your Spring Petal is up and running. Am I clear, sir? So guys, do you have any doubts still here? Dan, Dinu sir, Gagan, Prem?
No, sir.
So you're able to run your application even in a virtual machine also. Very good. So it means that you're running. So now the question comes, Rajesh, can I run the same instance of that application in this virtual machines? No, sir, you'll not be able to run, because again you'll get the same error like this. What is it? Address port 880 is already used. Even here also under your virtual machine also, you cannot run the same instance of that application. You cannot run. Okay, so there's a disadvantage of having a same application. Either it could be physical or either it could be virtual. You will not be able to run it actually, right? Fine, good. Now what we will do that? Okay, now okay, fine, you got it. So you are you are running over here. Okay, fine. I'll do one thing. I'll try to open one more instance of the same. Okay, I will not close it. I'll just say same thing. SSH Rajesh SI @ give the public IP of that server. Okay, where is it actually? I'll go back to my virtual machine. Here, go to the server, try to copy the public IP. Try to copy the public IP. Come over here, do paste it, and enter. Give the password. Okay, so what I will do that I want to verify, like, since this application is running in my VirtualBox, what is the memory CPU utilization, or what is the resource utilization which my application is doing in this virtual machine. Okay, so I can run a command by name htop or top command to just run it. Now you could see that actually your CPU, right? What are the CPUs there, right? It is not that much utilized. And you could see the memory out of 843 M, that is almost near to 1 GB, 507 is utilized, the rest is not utilized. Okay. What about my application Java? Can you see in some time it's going to come here? It will reflect here, Java -jar something. Let's see. I think it will, where is it, man? Here you could see that Java. See, Java Spring Petal is running. How much, sir, it is utilized? Sir, how much it is utilized? If we check it, see, only your, one second. The CPU utilization is almost 0%. It is not using, and the memory is something like 34.7% of your memory is utilized. Means that your Spring Petal, your Java is only using this 34%. Again, here the same thing. Your CPU is not that much utilized. Even the memory is also not completely utilized, right? It means that there is a wastage of the resources even in your virtual machine also. Even though you're using hypervisor and all, still you will see here actually the same wastage. Am I clear on this, sir? Right? Okay, guys, fine, guys. This is what, okay, we learned something here, Rajesh, that even we are still having some kind of a wastage here. Okay. Now what are you going to do that now? Okay, you'll just say that, okay, Rajesh, let us have one thing. Okay, let me do one thing. Let me move here. Okay. This is the second generation. The third generation, what we will do that, let me have one more virtual machine like this. Let me have one more, let me have a virtual machine like this, right? So in this virtual machine, let me go and install some operating system. Like for example, I'll go with the same Ubuntu Linux itself. I'll install it actually. Ubuntu Linux, I'll install it. On top of this Ubuntu Linux operating system, what I will do, I will go and install the Docker. I can go and install the Docker. Am I clear, answer? I can install, go and Docker. I can go and create a Docker. With the help of a Docker, what I will do, I will try to create an isolated area. Same thing what we discussed earlier. This is my isolated area. In this isolated area, I will be running my Spring Pet Clinic application. For the Spring Pet Clinic, it needs a Java. I will make sure that the Java is also there, right? So can I do it like this? Yes, sir, I can do it. So it means that Rajesh, I have to first create a virtual machine. Yes, sir. You have to create a virtual machine. Yes. You have to go and install the Docker. And on top of the Docker, you'll try to create this container. You try to create this container or the isolated area, we say. And in the container, inside the container, I'll be running the same Spring Pet Clinic application. Actually. So shall we see this actually and try to differentiate between the generation 1, generation 2, and generation 3? Yes. So now the thing is that actually that I can go with this also. Or else what happened, right? There are many people are there who have come up with something known as their own playgrounds. Actually, you can have a suppose whenever you want to experiment certain things, something from the Docker or from the Kubernetes, you need not to go and create the server and install the everything. You need not to have. Can I get a ready-made? Can I get a ready-made place where everything is installed? I have to just do some experiment or run it. Yes, you can do that. So where to do that? If you go to the Google and if you try to go with something known as a Docker playground. Anyhow, guys, this and all I'll be discussing in our upcoming session, but try to listen, try to understand. There is something like the play with the Docker, right? So I can click on it. Before that, before I click on it, let me do this. Let me log into my Docker Hub account. So hub.docker.com. I have to log into this hub.docker.com. I will tell you why. First, I will log into the hub.docker.com. Hey, this is so slow, man. I think I've already logged in, right? Raj Linux is already. This is my Docker Hub account, guys. I've already logged in. Fine, good. Then what I will do here, I will go and I'll just try to click on this play with Docker. So click on play with Docker, and you could see that actually it will be able. You are able to get it. I'll just say log in with the Docker, and and if you're lucky enough, you will get your instance. See, I got an instance. So I'll just click on the add new instance. So you'll get a kind of a Docker instance where what happened, right? It will be available for something like 4 hours. This would be available for 4 hours, guys. So in that 4 hour, you can play around with the Docker anything. So here what happened, I need not to go and literally create a virtual machine either in AWS or Azure, go and install, have a Ubuntu, go and install Docker. That and all, it's already been done here with the playground. So this is something like a play with the Docker. Right? It is something like for Kubernetes, we have something like a killer coda or Katacoda is there. Katacoda and all. Already Kubernetes, everything is installed. So there what happened that you will get one Kubernetes control node and one node you will get. Two instances you will get. So for playing around with for some time, you want it means then you need not to have a setup everything. You can go and you can log in directly with the credentials and you will get all the environment and then you can go and you can experiment what you want. So anyhow, this play with the Docker or nothing but lab with the play with the Docker, we're going to learn in detail in our upcoming sessions. Am I clear on this, sir? So guys, sometime you might not get. This is something like in during the peak time when a lot of people are going and launching this play with the Docker. Sometime you will get these instances because today is Sunday. No, in this time people are enjoying their their evenings or their mornings wherever they are. So usually people will not use this play with Docker much, right? That's the reason I got this instance very quickly. Others, what happens? Sometime what happens? It will be it take a lot of time. It will take a lot of time to get the slot for you. Sometimes you'll not even get also. Okay, then don't go with Play and don't go and get angry with this Play with Docker. Why I'm not getting? It is something like in our in North India, in Delhi, right? In North India, if you go, right? Uh, guys, have you heard about something like langar? I'm not Dan or Dinu, you might not be aware. I'm just asking for the other people who are Indian. Sanjay, Sarvana, have you heard of langar? Or something like in
No, sir.
langar is something like usually what happened, right? A lot of people what they know they have the festival season and what they'll do, right? They freely distribute the food actually. Suppose you go to any Punjabi Gurudwara, right? Every time they'll have langar. They will distribute foods, puri, sabji, all sweets and all. They'll keep distributing. That is langar actually. It's an open for anyone. Anyone can come and anyone can pray. While going out, no, they will distribute that food and you can go and stand in the line. You'll get the food. And that's a very, very, the langar food, no, if somebody have it, they said that you are very lucky. It's as if like you have eaten God's food, something like that. So usually in India, what happened, we call that as a bhandara, or we call it a langar actually. Bhandara is something where people, lot of, it's not like for one or two, thousands of people, no, they will arrange the food, they will prepare the food. But sometime what happened, no, if you go to langar, you are going at the nth moment. If you're not getting, whom you will blame? Do you think that you will go and blame to the bhandara or the langar? Do you feel angry on them? Oh, I didn't get food. Why I didn't get food? No, not like that, right? You'll blame to your fate actually. You will say that, okay, oh man, my fate is not good today. That's the reason I didn't get the langar food, right? Usually you'll get it, right? But sometimes it has happened for me also. I have been to Bhandara or Langar at the nth last moment I went. I didn't get anything. I came out without having. I think some of you might have experienced this. So same thing, right? If you're not getting the slot, okay, whom you'll blame? Do you blame to the play with the Docker, or do you blame with you'll blame with your fate? You'll blame with your fate only. Okay, in my fate, I didn't get the chance. That's all. Something like that. Right. So anyhow, guys, I have logged in. That's very good. So now what I will do that here, everything Docker, everything installed. Fine. Everything installed. So I got these instances. Now what you're going to do, guys? So you will try to go and I don't think I'll let me copy this SSH. I'll try to copy this SSH like this. Copy this SSH. Go to the terminal. Open one more terminal here. And just try to paste it actually. I think you'll be able to log into that Docker machine SSH. See, you're able to log. Permanently permission denied. Okay, you don't have the public key. That's what. Okay, fine. Anyhow, we don't have that one. So anyhow, I can do it here only, everything, right? Whatever is there, right? I can do everything here only. Fine, that is okay. I'm not able to log in, right? So now what I will do here, guys, I will try to go and run my application. What I have did earlier, right? If you go to my hub.docker.com, I've already created an image of the standard pet clinic, right? This is my image actually. And this image, what happened, right? I will try to download in my Docker and then I will try to run the application here. So how to do that? I'll just do one thing. I will go here. I'll just say Docker. This command center, don't worry. Anyhow, we have to cover all these things actually, right? Okay, 1 second. I think I can say Control Enter, right? Control Enter will make a full screen actually, not Alt. No, yeah, Alt actually. Alt Enter, it will make a full screen actually. Okay. So I'll clear the screen. So now what I will do that I will just run a command Docker container run -p means port mapping. Don't worry about that. Hyphen means detach. -fn name. What is the name actually? I will give something like a Spring Pet Clinic 1. I will give space. And what is the image name? My image name is Raj Spring Pet Clinic, whatever. This is the image actually. Raj Linux -spc 1.0. This is my image name actually. What is this image all about, guys? We will see it actually. Oh, I think I'm not able to paste it. Let me do a Raj Linux / what is it actually? SPC 1.0. SPC 1.0. Anything else is required? Nothing else. That's all. I'm running a container with the image and I'm giving the name as container name as SPC1 and let's see what will happen. Unable to find this locally. See, it is trying to download it. And after download, it'll run this container. It'll run this image into the container, right? You'll get it. See, it is run. Now, how to verify it? If you do a Docker container ls, can you see here your SPC is running actually? It is running, right? And you could see that it is actually using the port number 32768, right? So how do you access it actually? If you go over here into your, I think here only, Control N, you could see that it has opened the port number 3278 actually, and just click on it. See, it will load it, and you could see that your Spring Pet Clean is up and running. See here? Can you make out, sir? See, you're able to access your application by just by providing this IP :8080. That's the reason it has opened the port here. Am I clear?
Sir, -p for
port mapping, sir. Port mapping. Don't worry. I will cover all these things. Today, we're just learning. We're just understanding how I'm creating, how I'm running the same application in the container now with the help of a Docker. Yes, sir, Vanan. You have some more questions?
Yeah, actually, you didn't mention any port number. That's what I'm asking.
Sir, it is Okay, good, sir. Whenever you're not giving any port number, it is using some free ephemeral port. So here the ephemeral port is 32768. It is a capital P. Small p if you're giving no, then you have to give the port number. 8080 colon 8081, like that you have to give it. If it is a capital P means whichever free port, ephemeral port. So which are the ephemeral ports, sir? What are ephemeral ports? See, there are totally 65,535 ports are there. 65,535 ports are there. Out of which 1 to 1024 ports are reserved ports. After 1024, that is 1024, 1025, 265,535 are ephemeral port, we say, free ports. Any application or anyone can make use of it. So when you are using a Docker from this range, Docker has chosen this port number, sir. What is that port Docker has chosen? 32768. It's a port number it has used. This is a free port actually. So how we are able to do it? Because you are using -P option. Am I clear, sir? We will see all these things later, sir. Don't worry.
Okay,
It's a
got
valid
it.
question. It is a valid question what you're asking. But yeah. Now, okay, now it is up and running. I'm able
Yeah,
to even access that
Rajesh,
application also. Yes, sir. Who is this?
Rajesh, Daniel, I got a question for you. So with the ephemeral port, if you let's say kill this container and start another one, it's gonna be another random one, right? It's not specific.
Dan, to be very honest, I didn't understood. Come again, please.
Okay, so this port number you're using, it's random, right? The 32760.
Mhm.
Like this one, this port number here, 327, it's random,
Mhm.
right? So if you do it again,
Mhm.
it would change to another port number, which is also very random.
Obviously, if you run one more time, it will take some other port
Okay, yeah,
because this port
that's
is
very
already in
good.
use, right? Now,
Yeah.
if you kill this Docker container, yeah, this port will become free,
Okay,
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. Dan, can you please remove this mark? I mean, whatever you. I think you have to do
No
undo
problem.
something. Control Z. Okay, thank you, man. Yeah. So now you
Yeah,
are running your application fine, very good. You are able to even access also. That is also good. And with the help of a Docker container LS, I'm able to even see it actually. You could see that whatever I've given SPC1 with that name it is creating. And when you're creating a Docker container, it will give some container ID also, right? It will give a container ID. So this is a container ID, and this is the name with which you have run. So where you run, see, Docker container run -p-d-f name SPC1. Spring Pet Cleaning 1 I'm given, and I've given the image name. What is all about, sir? We will learn very slowly all these things. Don't worry. In next 1 or 2 sessions, we'll come across with all these commands actually. Right? So now we are able to access it. Good, very good. Now, Rajesh, I need to verify what is the memory, what is the CPU, or what is the what kind of a resource it is utilizing. Okay. For that, what I will do, I will run a command docker stats and say enter. Can you see here, guys? In this Docker, it is giving you 32 GB of your RAM memory. I mean, it is giving, and you could see that this much of CPU. You could see that your Spring Pet Clinic, it is only using 0.1% of the CPU. Out of 32 GB of your RAM memory, it is only utilizing 365 MB only. And how much memory? 1.13 GB memory only. It's very, very, very less actually, right? And even network IO, block IO, PIDs, everything. I mean, these are all the things which we'll be discussing. So with the help of a Docker stat, we are able to understand that what is a resource utilization, which is done by the various containers which are running under that instance actually, right? So now I'll just say Control C. So now the question comes, Rajesh, can I run the same application? Okay, one more instance, whether it will throw error or not. Let us see whether it will run or not. So now what I will do that instead of SPC, I will give SPC2. See, it is running. I'll run one more instance, SPC3, it is running. See, it will create a container, right? So now when I do a Docker container ls, can you see, sir, there are 3 instances of the same applications running, SPC1, SPC2, SPC3. See, and you could see that for your question, Dan, can you see 32768, 32769, and 32770, different ports here
Yeah,
it is using.
yeah.
Now, if I go back here, can you see these 3 ports are open? See, if I click on this, I'm able to access the same application. It will take time, it will load, but yeah, eventually it will come up. See, yeah. For this one, see the same application. So I'm able to access the same application which is running. Now the question comes, Rajesh, I understood what you're saying now. We'll go back here. So now you are running this application. Now if you go to the Docker stats and say enter, see sir, how much it is using. See, every instance it is using, max it is using 350 MB only, right? See 350 MB only out of, right? And memory, you see how much less it is using. So somewhat this Docker is something very special where, like you take any application, any large big applications also you run, somehow it can able to get accommodated to be run inside a Docker container very happily. It will run. Even you can run a Jenkins, a beast like a Jenkins server, you can run under the Docker container with very, very minimal hardware requirement. That is a beauty of the Docker container. It could mean that you can able to run any kind of a complex application even in your container. You can even run your database in a container. You can run your web application in a container. You can nowadays what happened now, even like some big stock exchange applications are there, right? You suppose you go to the New York Stock Exchange, you know that you are having so many big applications which are running. Now again what happened, all those applications are even started running even in the container also now. That kind of a things has happened in miracles have and has happened in today's world. It means that any kind of an application you can able to run in your Docker container, right sir? Now the thing is that earlier whatever we had this issue of not able to have the same instance of application running in the physical server or in the virtual machine, now we are able to do everything. We are able to achieve everything to the Dockerization or to the containerization. This is what we will get the advantage actually in the Docker actually. Am I clear on this, sir?
Yes.
Right? Now the thing is that now you'll say that okay, Rajesh, here Docker is running fine. Docker is running. I'll just say Control C. So I'm not able to come down. Yeah, I just Control C. See, when I do a Docker containerless, so this is a server, guys, where this is a Linux machine. If I say host name, this is a machine node 1 where this is a Linux server actually. Or if I say uname-a, see, this is a Linux server or Ubuntu Linux server, which I got it. Okay, from Play with the Docker, where what they did know, they took the Linux machine, a virtual machine, they've installed the Docker and they're given it. If I say Docker info, can you see here? Docker is already installed. Or I can say Docker-FN version. If I execute, see, Docker is there already. See, what is the version of the Docker? See, Docker version is 27.37. Anyhow, I'll discuss all this command, guys. Or if I say Docker, Docker-FN version, can you see a Docker is installed? Now the question comes, fine, Rajesh, you are running this application, standard pet clinic. The standard pet clinic needs a Java to be there. Do you have Java installed in the Docker? No, man, I don't need Java. See, do you have Java version here? Java installed? No, I have not installed Java. But how this is coming actually? So what I would say that at this point of time to make you understand. So see, what I did know, I did a Spring Pet Clinic. What I did basically, like I have a Spring Pet Clinic .jar, right, which I had. What I did with the help of a Docker, I created something like a Docker file. We will learn all these things. In the Docker file, I took a very base image of operating system, very base image, right? The base image, or we can call it a distroless image or whatever we say. Later we'll discuss about what is distroless image or base image, or how to have a very customized small image and or Linux image or the operating system image, something like that. We will discuss about all these things. In that, what happened, right? I try to have the same Spring Pet Clinic.jar inside that image, and I created that image. So out of it, what I did, right? After I build it with the help of some kind of a Docker command. I build it and I try to create an image out of it. Actually, I try to create an image out of it. So what is this image and all we will discuss. And that image name, I gave the name as something like Raj Linux /SPC 1.0. Like this I create. And later what I did, right? I pushed this image into my hub.docker.com. This and all I did it at the back end. Don't worry. So now if you go here, hub.docker.com. Where is the hub.docker.com, guys? Here it is. See, this is my hub.docker.com. What is hub.docker.com? We'll discuss all these things later. Now, if you go here, if you go to the repositories, right, you will see that there's an image by name Raj Linux /SPC1. This I already pushed it into my hub.docker. And then when I'm creating a container, when I'm creating this container like this, where is it actually? You could see that actually when I did for the first time, when I created a container, what happened? It pulled the image from the Docker Hub and then it started running that image as a container. So what, how it run it, how it pull the image and everything, how did it go and pull it, everything we'll discuss it in some time. In all our upcoming sessions, we'll be learning all those things actually. So with the same application, so now what is happening that whatever that isolated area is there, Rajesh, this isolated area has a base image, yeah, base operating system you can say. It has some base operating system, okay? It also has a Java installed into it, okay? And also, like, it has that application SPC. That's the reason what happened, right? This small isolated area as a container, it is running as an application altogether. Because this image, what are the image you have, right? That image also has a operating system. It also has a Java installed in it. It also has a Spring Pet Clinic application installed into it. Am I clear, sir? So, Rajesh, can I enter into that? Can I enter inside and see what is it actually? Yes, sir, we can do it actually. So let us go into one thing. Let me go here. Okay, I'll just do a Docker container ls. Okay, there are three sets of applications running. Three containers. SPC1, Spring Pet Clinic 1. Let me get inside this container. How to get inside a container? I'll just say Docker container. What is the command, sir? Exec hyphen it. And then like I'll just say SPC1, right? This is the SPC1. I can give either name or I can give a container ID, anything. Say /bin/bash. Can I enter inside it? See, I've entered inside the Docker container. Now inside the Docker container, Rajesh, can I check Java is installed or not? See, Java hyphen version. See, Java 17 is installed. It means that as per the diagram, Rajesh, inside the container, you're having the Java, not outside. This Docker doesn't have the Java and all. You don't install it here. But rather, you will have everything inside the container. It means that inside the container, what are the dependencies required you to run that application, that it will find everything here actually. Am I clear on this, sir? Now the thing question comes, Rajesh, now if you come to your desktop, you are into your Windows. Now if I say ping google.com, can you ping it? Yes, sir, I can ping it because ping utility is there. Everything is installed in your laptop. Hence, I'm able to ping it. Can you do the same ping here? Okay, let me do think ping google.com. What it says, sir? Ping not found. Command not found. So it means that why you want to have an unnecessary many of the commands or many of the applications or many of the library which your application doesn't need at all. So here, if you go back here and if you check it out, this Spring Pet Clinic, it needs only Java to be there in the system. With the help of the Java only, your Spring Pet Clinic is running. Apart from this Spring Pet Clinic doesn't need anything. Then why you have to unnecessarily install any other software or any other package? It doesn't need at all. So it means that your container is a lightweight container. It only has some dependency, a base operating system, and all kind of a software stack. What is required you to run that application? That's what we call it as a lightweight container. Am I clear on this, sir?
Yes, Judge.
Yeah. This is what I need you to understand. That few minutes to 3 hours now. Can you please talk about start of Kubernetes? Too much info into WhatsApp group confused. Yeah, Dan, we'll do it. So guys, with this, we will stop it now. Okay, I hope that you understood it. I thought that I will explain many other things, but anyhow, just another few more minutes. I will just say, like, go back here into your this one. Okay, I will exit out from that container now. So guys, one more thing, very clearly, whatever you have seen so far with the Docker, right? Okay, Rajesh has took a Docker. Let's play with the Docker. Something he's running some command. He's doing something. Don't get panic, because I'm just showing you something where I can able to run some kind of an application inside a container. We have not even started anything on the Docker. We have to even install the Docker in a Linux machine. I have to show from the very beginning what is Docker, what is Docker info, what's the Docker architecture all about. Everything I have to explain. Then we'll come with the command line. So whatever I've shown these things, this is something like fourth or fifth session from now. But I'm telling you at the day too early because I want to make you realize what is this Docker contains all about. What are these three generations and how do you differentiate between these three generations? For this reason only, I took one application. I showed how it runs in a physical server, how it works in a virtual server, and now in the latest technology in Docker, how the same application is running. And what kind of advantage or disadvantage you're able to get it. Everything we are trying to understand in the container world now. Am I clear on this, sir? Now, you will ask, Rajesh, there is some base operating system image there. Yeah, some base is there. which is something like a distroless or distro, something you said. What is it? We'll discuss all these things. Don't worry. Okay. Fine. I got it. Now something, I'll go here. Okay. Have you heard about something known as an Alpine image? Yeah, let's see. Docker, pull, Alpine. Some of you might have heard about it. See, you're trying to you're trying to download an Alpine image. Alpine image is a very, very base, small image actually. Okay. Docker, don't worry about the commands, guys. Docker image ls. Can you see here, guys? Your Alpine image. See, it is an operating system actually, but what is the size? 7.83 MB only. Now, if suppose you go and ask, okay, Rajesh, I have a application. You tell me, uh, how much, what is the size of an operating system, or how much operating system is required. I'll say that, sir, go and take a Linux operating system or Windows operating system, try to run your application. Okay, but what would be the size of the operating system itself? I would say that the maximum the size would be of something 600 MB or 700 MB, right? Not more than that. So your Linux operating system or Windows is quite a little complex because it has a lot of graphical things. Actually, you can consider as something like a 1.5 GB of your Windows operating system size would be. For Linux, it would be like something 600 or 700. Oh, you will say that, Rajesh, can I run an application in my Linux operating system with a size 700 MB? Yes, sir, you can run it. Now you could see that, sir, now the day has come now where you are running your application a very, very small, thin, very, very small, minimalistic operating system, which is nothing but the Alpine. And this is a Linux itself actually. Linux itself, but they have compressed into such a way that you will be able to run your application with a small operating system. And this is what happened with the small operating system, with your application ported into it. You can take this whole application and you can run in your as an IoT into your any of your Raspberry Pi board, or you can run in a Beagle board or anywhere. And the same boards are attached to your inside your car, where nowadays like all car, any kind, Benz car, BMW car, everything, you see that inside the car, no, inside your engine, next to the engine, there's a big board is attached to it, and that board will do all kind of controls, mechanical controls, everything of your BMW engine or Mercedes Benz engine. How they're going to do it? They'll do everything with the help of this programs, which is running as a container in that board actually. Same thing happen everywhere. You go to even any technology where we are nowadays, we are using a lot of space rocket technologies, everything. You see that inside all we use this boards, everything. There also Docker containers are running, or some container technology is running over there, right? And you see that you have an RO, water purifier. You know that the RO inside there's a chip, guys. There's a small board is there like that. There is a container which is there. Inside the container, there is some RO application running actually, which always checks it out. Okay, when it is going to expire, when the service it get expire. As soon as the expiry date come now, automatically what that RO, that smart thing it will do, no, it's going to automatically create or it's going to automatically generate a ticket also. You'll not even know that it has already generated a ticket. And you'll see that next day, that service person will come, you'll say that, sir, we received a ticket. You will say that, when did I do it? I never did it. No, sir, inside the RO, there is there, that chip, our application running, that itself has raised a ticket. It's only that there has to be some internet connectivity between your RO water purifier with the internet. Automatically it raise a ticket. See, that much of smartness has come in these IoT applications. Right? Got it? So it means that you are having a very lightweight operating system. With that, you can do anything. And this is what they needed in anything. Whenever you are building any application, right? All these days, Rajesh, I was building an application, a very simple application. I was running in my laptop or in a physical server. Now, how you can make your application, the same application, run in the container technology? That is what you have to learn now. Any application you take, sir, any application, it could be something like a e-commerce application. It could be a SAP based application. Okay, it could be something like a healthcare application, right? Any application you could say in the industry, somehow what they're doing, that they're trying to convert that application as a Docker container, as a Docker image, and making it to run under the Docker container. Am I clear, sir? Okay, fine. Prem, do you have any questions? Yes, please go ahead, sir.
Sir, sir, yeah, sir, I'm audible.
Yes, you're audible.
Sir, since there is a port numbers under the port, it's taking 8080. Suppose if you have opened, because you have opened the port number 8080 in instance.
Sir,
Suppose if
this
we,
one
uh,
second. Hold a
uh,
second. This 8080 port number, this is a port number which your Spring Pet Clinic is using.
Okay.
Your
Now,
Spring Petlin application, it can be accessed by any outside customer through this port only. If this port is closed, if this port is not open, you cannot access your Spring Petlin application.
okay, got it.
Now, any questions? Okay, guys. So any other questions, guys? Om, did you understood everything, whatever we discussed so far today?
Yes, sir.
Sanjay?
Yeah, huh.
Sir, it sounds interesting, sir. Do you feel very much interesting?
Yes.
Sir, next time, no, we will be learning architecture, sir. You know how beautiful the architecture is, and like how what are the things which they designed, this Docker community design, no, they designed something as a lib container. That's a library which they designed it, and that lib container is the one which is actually creating all these Docker containers. All this isolated area is done by the lib container. How exactly internally how things works, and also we'll discuss it. That's very quite interesting. And all these namespaces, C groups, everything, very, very interesting topic, sir. We will be learning deep dive in that. We'll spend some time, and this is the horrible thing now. What is happening in every interview? They're asking these things only now. I don't know for what reason. Either they're taking you as a developer or not. I don't know. They're thinking that you are a developer. They'll treat as if like you're a developer, and they'll start asking the question. This is what is happening now. Okay, so quite interesting. All these things, whatever the upcoming session, guys, we will see. We will try to learn many things actually, right? So now what happened? Now the same diagram here. Sir Rajesh, now you understood. I said okay. Now you create one. You have one container. Okay, Rajesh. The same thing, Rajesh. Now you are trying to create multiple containers now like this under the same here, right? Sorry, I don't have space here. Let me draw here. See. Don't you agree now that in the same Docker you are creating a multiple instance of the same application, right? This is what it is happening now. Okay, is it fine, guys? Guys, 5 more minutes. Okay, I will just write some notes and then we'll wind up a session. We'll wind up a class. Okay. Now, what is it? So now, okay. So running an application. Okay, running an application, all these three generations. Okay, I mean, I will remove all these things, guys. It is not required. Okay. So now you could see that. So what we did actually in the physical server or in the physical machine, we had a physical machine. That is my laptop only, but I'm just considering my laptop as a physical machine. So I have a dependency on running my application. What are those dependencies? You need an OS. Yeah, that is there. You need a software. Yeah, that is also there because I installed my software. That is nothing but the Java. I have installed it. And then like I need an application package. Yeah, anyway, I have that application package. This is what we have seen it in our physical machine. Now the same thing, Rajesh, what you did in a virtual machine. Nothing, sir. Same thing I said. I have these dependencies. What are the dependencies? So the dependency is something like I don't want soft because most of the virtual machine comes along with an operating system. So I need not to really go and install the operating system. Operating system by default come with the virtual machine. So I'm not worried about that. I'm only worried about the software. So you know that went and installed the Java software, right? In my this one, and then I have this application package. So here what is happening that here you don't have OS. OS is by default comes along with the virtual machine. That's what I'm not really worried about it actually, right? And what about the Docker container or Dockerization? Sorry, Docker. What is the Docker, sir? The dependencies in case of Docker is very, very minimal. What you need to run your container, you need something which we call the Docker image. That's all. No other thing is required. See? So here, Rajesh, Java, everything you do required, application package and all, we already did as part of a Docker image only when building it. So anyhow, we have the Docker image itself, that's all. So anything else is required, operating system, nothing, sir, nothing is required, only you need an image, that's all. See, it has reduced the complexity of everything. Whatever earlier, we used to have so many. So in that case, Rajesh, whenever you are managing these such applications, do you need a lot of administrator for managing all this hardware and all? There's nothing like a hardware and all, right? You don't need that much. You can have only one person to manage your hardware. That's all. Remaining everything, you will be creating everything as a container only. So you don't need that much of manpower to manage this infrastructure and all. You're already having people, one or two people, that is sufficient. Whereas earlier in the physical server, in the virtual machine, you need a lot of people actually. You need a lot of support engineers, operation people, and all to manage all the servers, manage all the network and everything. Here, in case of this. In the generation 3, you don't need that kind of. So all your OPEX, operational cost, all will get reduced here. And one of the very, very advantage what you are seeing is that all these applications are highly portable. If you run in your Docker container, that application, you can take that application, run it anywhere. Suppose you are having some machines in the Mars, you can go and run your application as a container in the Mars also. It'll run it. Anywhere you take it, that is what it is. Right, so guys? Now, what would be our next class? Okay. Next class is that actually we need to learn about the story of how Docker was evolved, how Docker was evolved, how Docker was evolved. That is one thing. And when it comes to the application design, right? Right, we have a different ways of application design model. The first design was something like a monolithic application, and then somewhat we've been keep hearing this microservices. What is microservices all about? Everything we are going to understand about all these things, guys. Right, and then we will try to check about the Docker what do you call architecture. Sorry, what is it? Architecture and installation of Docker, and start learning Docker with Docker commands. This is what our upcoming agenda is. Am I clear on this, guys? This is what we'll be running now. Okay, now fine. So with this, we're going to stop it now. So before getting into, let me first stop the recording, then we'll have a discussion, something about the class timings and all.